The call came during my morning coffee ritual, right as I was settling into my home office with my third espresso. The realtor's voice bubbled with enthusiasm that made my stomach turn. "Ms. Richards, I wanted to personally congratulate you on your offer being accepted. The sellers were particularly impressed with your letter about making their historic mansion your forever home." I gripped my mug tighter, coffee sloshing over the rim. "I'm sorry, what mansion?" "The Wellington estate, the $6 million property you toured last week." Her voice wavered. You are Samantha Richards, correct?" "I am, but I never—" The words died in my throat as my laptop pinged with a new email. Subject line, "Purchase agreement, 47 Wellington Drive." My hands trembled as I opened the attachment. There it was in black and white. My name, my social security number, my signature. A signature I'd never made. "I need to call you back," I managed, ending the call before she could respond. 3 more emails flooded in rapid succession. A mortgage approval, insurance quotes, a moving company confirmation. All under my name, all perfectly forged. I knew that precise, elegant handwriting. I'd admired it for years in birthday cards, coffee shop notes, shared grocery lists. Vivienne, my best friend's betrayal hit like a physical blow. The room tilted sideways as my mind raced through 1,000 little moments. Her casual questions about my finances, her increasing interest in my personal documents when she'd stay over, the way she'd insisted on handling the mail when I was sick last month. My phone buzzed. A text from Vivienne herself. "Lunch today? That new place on 4th you mentioned?" My fingers hovered over the screen. The casual normalcy of her message made me want to scream. Instead, I typed, "Can't today, dealing with some interesting calls about property I supposedly bought." 3 dots appeared immediately. Disappeared. Reappeared. Finally. "Oh God, Sam, I can explain everything." The coffee I'd drunk curdled in my stomach. I'd known Vivienne for 12 years, held her hand through her divorce, celebrated every career win, trusted her with every secret, every fear, every dream I'd ever had. My phone rang again, the bank this time. I let it go to voicemail, too focused on the mounting evidence on my screen. Each new document showed a more elaborate web of deception. Multiple credit cards, investment accounts, even a business loan. Another text from Vivienne. "Please let me explain in person. It's not what you think." But I knew exactly what it was. Every time she'd crashed at my place after too many drinks, every casual dinner where she'd insisted on clearing the table, every moment she'd distracted me while rifling through my life, it had all been calculated, planned. My hands shook as I pulled up my banking app. Access denied. Invalid password. I tried again. Same result. "Your account has been locked due to suspicious activity. Please visit your local branch." The walls of my office felt like they were closing in. I'd built my freelance design business from nothing, saved every penny, protected my perfect credit score like it was a precious jewel, and in what seemed like minutes, it was all crumbling. My phone buzzed again. Vivienne had sent a voice message. I pressed play before I could stop myself. "Sammy, please." Her voice broke. "I know how this looks, but I had no choice. You have to understand." I deleted it before she could finish. Another email notification popped up, this one from Ryder, Vivienne's husband. "Hey Sam, V's really upset about something but won't tell me what's wrong. Have you two had a fight?" Sweet, oblivious Ryder. Did he know his wife was a con artist? Was he part of it? My cursor hovered over the reply button when a new email caught my eye. Subject line, "Change of address confirmation, 47 Wellington Drive." The message contained a single line. "Primary resident, Vivienne Phillips." The pieces clicked into place with sickening clarity. She hadn't just stolen my identity, she'd stolen my entire life and planned to live it herself. My phone lit up with another call from the bank. This time I answered. "Ms. Richards," the fraud department representative began, "we've detected some unusual activity." "Let me guess," I cut in, my voice steadier than I felt. Someone's trying to transfer my entire life savings. A pause. Actually, yes. The request came in about 3 minutes ago. I closed my eyes, seeing Vivian's perfectly practiced signature dancing behind my eyelids. Don't let that transfer go through. I'm on my way to the branch right now. I grabbed my keys, my mind already racing ahead to what came next, because this wasn't just about money anymore. This was about something far more precious, my identity. And I was going to make damn sure Vivian understood exactly what it felt like to have your life stolen out from under you. The bank lobby felt like a fishbowl, all glass walls and watchful eyes. I gripped the stack of printed emails in my sweating palms, willing my hands to stop shaking. The branch manager's nameplate read, Patricia, but her eyes said, skeptic, as she reviewed my driver's license for the 3rd time. And you say this Vivian person has access to your home? Had access. I pulled out my phone, showing her the text thread. I changed the locks an hour ago, but she's been staying over regularly for months, ever since her supposed separation from her husband. Patricia's eyebrows lifted. Supposed? My stomach clenched as another piece clicked into place. I pulled up Instagram, finding the photo from 3 weeks ago, Vivian and me at our favorite wine bar, celebrating what she'd called her fresh start after moving out from Ryder's place. But there, in the background of another patron's photo posted the same night, was Ryder himself, with Vivian, at a different restaurant across town. Oh God. The room swayed. She's been lying about everything. Patricia's expression softened. Ms. Richards, I've frozen all your accounts and flagged any new credit applications. But you need to understand, the damage here is extensive. Someone has been methodically building this facade for months, maybe longer. My phone buzzed. Madison. I'd texted her on my way to the bank, but seeing her name now made my chest tight. She was my oldest friend, even before Vivienne. What if she'd been in on it too? I have to take this, I mumbled, stepping away from Patricia's desk. Sam? Madison's voice crackled with concern. What the hell is going on? Vivian just called me crying, saying you're accusing her of some crazy things. Did you know? The words came out sharper than intended. All those girls' nights when she crashed at my place. Did you know she was going through my things? What? No, Sam, slow down. What are you talking about? I told her everything. The mansion, the loans, the fake separation from Ryder. With each detail, my voice grew steadier, anger replacing shock. Jesus Christ. Madison's horror sounded genuine. The charity gala photos. What photos? Last month, when she insisted on handling the social media for your design business, she posted all those pictures of you two at that black tie event, remember? I hadn't attended any gala, but I remembered Vivienne showing me the photos. Me in a black dress, her in blue, both of us laughing with champagne flutes. Except, those were photoshopped, I whispered. She needed them to establish a public timeline, to make it look like I was involved in all of this. Sam. Madison's voice dropped. Check your business Instagram, now. I pulled it up, scrolling through months of posts I hadn't made, photos I hadn't taken, client testimonials I'd never received, an entire parallel business life, carefully curated to support whatever story Vivian was crafting. She's been building my reputation in circles I've never even heard of, I said, nausea rising. High-end clients, luxury brands. The mansion makes more sense now, doesn't it? Madison's tone hardened. She needed your identity to match the lifestyle she was creating. My phone pinged with another message. Ryder again. Hey, are you coming to dinner tonight? V says she's making your favorite pasta. The casual domesticity of his message made me want to scream. Did he really not know, or was he just a better actor than I'd given him credit for? Madison, I said, watching Patricia wave urgently from her desk. I have to go, but I need you to do something for me. Find out everything you can about Ryder's business. If Vivian's been playing this game with my life. You think she's doing the same to him? Madison finished. I'm on it. And Sam, don't confront her alone. Promise me. I ended the call as Patricia gestured me over. Her face had gone pale. "Ms. Richards, we've found something else." She turned her monitor toward me. "These transactions, dating back 6 months, regular transfers from your business account to an offshore holding company." The numbers blurred before my eyes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, siphoned away so gradually I hadn't noticed. "The company name," Patricia continued, "is registered to a V. Phillips." My phone lit up with one final text from Vivienne. "Dinner at 7? We really need to talk. I can fix all of this, Sammy. Trust me one last time." Trust. Such a small word for such a devastating weapon. I thought of all the times I'd trusted her, all the ways she'd used that trust to dismantle my life piece by piece. Well, two could play at that game. I typed back, "Dinner sounds perfect. Can't wait to hear everything." Sometimes the only way to catch a liar is to tell a better lie. I sat in my car, outside Vivienne's favorite Italian restaurant, watching my hands grip the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. 7 o'clock loomed 15 minutes away. Through the window, I could see her already at our usual table, sipping wine like she hadn't just demolished my entire life. My phone buzzed. Madison's update. Ryder's company records show some weird patterns. Large consulting fees to shell companies. Started around the same time V moved in with him. Another piece of the puzzle. I typed back. She's not just stealing identities. She's building a whole network. "Sam, please tell me you're not actually meeting her." I watched Vivienne check her phone, tuck a perfect strand of hair behind her ear. The gesture was so familiar it hurt. I need to understand why. At least let me come as backup. No, I need to do this alone. I turned off my phone before Madison could argue further. The restaurant's warmth hit me like a wall as I stepped inside. Vivienne stood, arms outstretched for our usual hug. I stepped back, watching her face fall. "Sammy, don't." My voice came out steadier than I felt. "Just tell me why." She sank into her chair, fingers tracing the wineglass stem. "It's complicated." "Try me." I needed... She paused, choosing her words carefully. "I needed to become someone better. Someone like you." I laughed, the sound harsh even to my own ears. "So you decided to become me? You don't understand. Your life, your business, your reputation. You make it all look so effortless. I just wanted to steal it." I pulled out my phone, showing her the offshore account details. "To drain my accounts, to take over my identity." Her face went still. Something shifted behind her eyes, the mask slipping. "You weren't supposed to find out so soon. That's your response? Not 'I'm sorry' or 'I'll fix this,' but you weren't supposed to know yet." A waiter approached. Vivienne ordered another wine with perfect poise. I ordered nothing. "The mansion closes next week," she said after he left. "I can explain everything to Ryder then. Make it right." "Make it right?" The words tasted like ash. "You've been lying to him too. Those consulting fees from his company." Her head snapped up. "How did you—" "I have friends too, Vivienne. Real ones." Something dangerous flashed across her face. "Be careful, Sammy. You're not the only one with things to lose." The threat hung between us like smoke. I thought of the photos she'd doctored, the social media presence she'd crafted in my name. How easy it would be for her to destroy my reputation with a few strategic posts. "Why the elaborate scheme?" I asked, buying time. "Why not just, I don't know, ask for help?" She laughed, the sound genuine enough to send chills down my spine. "Help? Like you helped Gavin?" The name hit me like a physical blow. Gavin, my ex, the one who'd chosen his addiction over our relationship, the one I'd tried to save until it nearly destroyed me. "That was different." "Was it?" Vivienne leaned forward. "You tried to fix him, control him, mold him into what you thought he should be. Sound familiar?" My hands shook under the table. "I was trying to save someone I loved, and I'm trying to save myself." She took another sip of wine. "We're not so different, you and I. We both want to shape the world to fit our vision. I'm just better at it." The waiter returned. Vivian ordered her usual pasta with the practiced ease of someone who belonged, who had always belonged. "Here's what's going to happen," she said once he left. "You're going to go home and forget about the mansion, the accounts, all of it. In return, I won't have to show everyone the real Samantha Richards." "The real me?" She pulled out her phone, turned it to show me emails I'd never seen, conversations I'd never had, business dealings that walked the line of legality, all apparently in my name. Amazing what you can create with the right passwords and a little imagination. Her smile was almost gentle. "So what's it going to be, Sammy? Your reputation or your revenge?" I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. "You know what the difference is between us, Vivienne. When I tried to save Gavin, I was trying to keep him alive. You're just trying to steal a life you were too lazy to build yourself." Her smile froze. For a moment I saw something crack in her perfect facade. Not guilt or shame, but pure, cold fury. "3 days," she said, "to decide if you want to play nice." I walked out of the restaurant on legs that barely held me. In my car, I finally let out the breath I'd been holding and pulled out my phone. A text from an unknown number waited. "Heard you're looking into V. I have information you need. Meet tomorrow." The sender's profile picture showed a familiar face. Scarlett, Ryder's sister. Maybe I wasn't as alone in this as Vivian thought. The coffee shop Scarlett chose was deliberately far from her brother's usual haunts. I spotted her in the corner, red hair hidden under a baseball cap, shoulders hunched over her laptop. She looked nothing like the polished Instagram photos from Ryder's family gatherings. "You're not what I expected," she said as I sat down. "Let me guess. Vivienne's version of me is different." Scarlett's mouth twisted. "According to her, you're an unstable ex-business partner having a mental breakdown. She's got Ryder convinced you're dangerous." My coffee turned bitter in my mouth. "And you don't believe her?" "I've been tracking her lies for months." Scarlett turned her laptop toward me. "Look at these dates." The screen showed bank statements, property records, business filings, a tangled web with Vivienne at the center. But something else caught my eye. "These go back 3 years," I said. "Before she even met Ryder. Before she met any of us." Scarlett's voice hardened. "Her real name isn't even Vivian Phillips. It's—" A chair scraped nearby. We both jumped as Madison slid into the seat between us. "Sorry I'm late," she said, ignoring my glare. "Traffic was hell. I told you not to come," I hissed, "and I told you not to face this alone." Madison turned to Scarlett. "So, what do we know?" Scarlett glanced between us before continuing. "She's done this before. Different names, different cities. She finds successful women, studies them, becomes them, then drains everything they have." "But why me?" The question had been burning since this started. "I'm not exactly wealthy. It's not about money this time." Scarlett pulled up another document. "Look at the pattern. Each woman she targeted was more established than the last. Better connected. She's building something bigger." Madison leaned forward. "The charity gala photos." "Exactly," Scarlett nodded. "She's using Sam's reputation to access circles she couldn't reach before. The mansion, the fake business deals. It's all about making connections." My phone buzzed. "Ryder. We need to talk. V told me everything. How could you do this to her?" "She's moving faster now," I said, showing them the message. "She knows we're on to her." "She's not the only one moving faster." Madison pulled out her own phone. "Remember that private investigator friend I mentioned? He found something interesting about Vivian's past." Before she could continue, the coffee shop door chimed. Ryder walked in, scanning the room with purpose. "Down," Scarlett hissed, grabbing her laptop. We ducked behind our menus as her brother passed our table. "That was close," Madison whispered once he'd ordered and taken a seat by the window. "We should go." "Wait." I watched Ryder pull out his phone, his face troubled as he typed. Look at him. He's worried, but not angry. Whatever Vivian told him, part of him doubts it. "Sam, no." Madison grabbed my arm. "Don't." But I was already standing, walking toward him, before I could second-guess myself. His eyes widened as I approached. "Can we talk?" I kept my voice low. "Just for a minute?" He glanced at his phone, then back at me. "V says you're having some kind of breakdown, that you're making up stories about her. Does that sound like me, Ryder, in all the years you've known me?" Uncertainty flickered across his face. "She showed me emails, things she wrote in my name." I sat down across from him. "Just like the consulting fees she's been charging your company." His coffee cup froze halfway to his mouth. "What fees?" "Check your corporate accounts. Look for payments to shell companies starting 3 months ago, right after she moved in." "This is crazy." But he was already pulling up his banking app. I watched the color drain from his face as he scrolled. "She's not who you think she is," I said gently. "She's not who any of us thought she was." His phone lit up with Vivian's face. He stared at it, finger hovering over the answer button. "Whatever she's told you about me," I continued, standing up, "ask yourself why she waited until now to say it, and maybe ask your sister what she knows." I walked away before he could respond, rejoining Madison and Scarlett. "That was risky," Madison said as we hurried out the back exit. "But necessary," Scarlett added, checking her phone. "Ryder just texted me. He wants to meet, alone." My own phone buzzed. Vivian again. "You just couldn't help yourself, could you? Fine. Let's see how you handle this." Seconds later, notifications started flooding in. Social media alerts, email warnings, text messages from clients. She was making her move. "She's posting those fake emails," I said, watching my carefully built reputation crumble in real time. "She's burning everything down." "No," Madison corrected, her face grim as she showed me her PI friend's message. "She's forcing your hand, because now we know what she's really after, and it's bigger than just you or Ryder." The message contained a single photo, Vivienne, under a different name, standing next to one of the city's most powerful tech CEOs. This wasn't just about stealing my life, it was about using it as a stepping stone to something much more dangerous. My apartment felt like a crime scene. Every surface reminded me of Vivienne. The throw pillows she'd helped choose, the wine glasses we'd used for countless girls' nights. The framed photos I now knew were part of her long con. I was packing them all away when the knock came. I froze, heart pounding. But it was Gavin's voice that called through the door. "Sam, you in there?" Of course. Vivian would have contacted him too. I opened the door to find him looking exactly as I remembered. Leather jacket, worried eyes, that slight tension in his jaw that meant he was trying to figure something out. "Your social media is going nuclear," he said, stepping inside. "Want to tell me what's really going on?" "Depends. Did Vivian already give you her version?" He pulled out his phone, showing me a rambling message. "According to this, you're having some sort of psychological break, accusing her of elaborate conspiracies. And you don't believe her." "I know what a psychological break looks like, Sam. I lived one, remember?" His smile was sad. "This isn't it." I sank onto my couch, suddenly exhausted. "She's destroying everything, Gav. My business, my reputation, my whole life. Yeah, about that." He sat beside me, pulling up something on his phone. "Remember that tech startup I've been consulting for? The one looking to go public?" I nodded, not seeing the connection. "Their CEO had a meeting last week with someone claiming to be you, offering to handle their entire rebranding." My stomach dropped. "Let me guess. The meeting was set up by Vivienne? Through a series of very impressive connections, yes. The contract would have been worth millions." He paused. "The CEO's name is James Morton." The name hit me like a thunderbolt. The same James Morton from the photo. "What photo?" I showed him Madison's PI findings. Gavin's expression darkened. "Son of a bitch," he muttered. "She's not just stealing identities. She's using them to get inside information before companies go public." My phone buzzed. Ryder calling. I answered on speaker. "Sam?" His voice was rough. "I talked to Scarlett. Check those accounts you mentioned. There's..." There's something else you need to see. I'm with Gavin, I said. He found a connection to James Morton. A sharp intake of breath. That's what I'm calling about. V just left for an emergency meeting with Morton's board. She's using my company credentials to get in. When? Now. She left 10 minutes ago. I was already grabbing my keys. Send me the address. Sam, wait. Gavin caught my arm. You can't just burst into a corporate board meeting. Watch me. No, he's right, Ryder said through the phone. But I can get you in. I'm still listed as her emergency contact. I'll tell security she forgot crucial documents. I'm coming with you, Gavin said as I headed for the door. Gav, you're not the only one she's used. His voice was steel. Those consulting fees she charged Ryder. They went through my old firm's accounts. She's been setting me up too. My phone lit up with another message. Madison. PI found more. V's not working alone. Someone high up is protecting her. As if on cue, my email pinged. A message from an anonymous account contained a single video file. I clicked play. It was security footage from my building's lobby, dated 3 months ago. It showed Vivian letting herself in at 3 a.m. using my key. But she wasn't alone. A man in an expensive suit accompanied her, his face carefully turned away from the cameras. Freeze that frame, Gavin said, leaning closer. The watch he's wearing, that's a limited edition, Morton's signature piece. The pieces clicked together with sickening clarity. She's not infiltrating his company. She's working for him. Using stolen identities to gather inside information, Gavin finished. Then when it all falls apart, the women she impersonated take the fall. My voice sounded distant to my own ears. That's why she's burning my reputation now. She's setting me up to take the blame. Ryder's voice crackled through the phone. Security badge is waiting at the front desk. But Sam, be careful. If Morton's involved... I know. I grabbed my coat. This isn't just about Vivian anymore. It never was, Gavin said quietly. My phone buzzed one final time. Vivian. Last chance, Sammy. Walk away now, or what happens next is your fault. I stared at her message, remembering every laugh we'd shared, every secret confided, every moment I'd thought was real. She'd played me perfectly, using my trust against me. Now she was about to do the same to others, leaving a trail of destroyed lives in her wake. Let's go, I told Gavin, heading for the door. It's time to show Vivian what happens when you underestimate the life you tried to steal. Morton Technologies loomed above us, all glass and steel stretching into the evening sky. The security guard barely glanced at my borrowed badge, too busy watching Gavin's careful distraction about a misplaced laptop. Years of addiction had taught him how to command attention while being forgettable, a skill I never thought I'd be grateful for. 14th floor, Ryder's voice crackled through my earpiece. Boardroom CV's presentation starts in 10 minutes. My heels clicked against marble as I strode toward the elevators, projecting the confidence I'd seen Vivian wear like armor. Inside, my heart thundered. Security feed is looping, Madison added through the earpiece. But Sam, there's something else. The PI just sent more photos. That man with V, he's been spotted with 3 other women in the past year. All of them, let me guess, I cut in, watching floor numbers climb. All of them faced fraud charges shortly after. All of them took plea deals, disappeared completely. The elevator doors opened on 12. A familiar figure stepped in, Scarlett, wearing a catering uniform. Ryder called, she said quietly. Thought you could use backup. How did you... I used to work events here. Still have friends in the kitchen. She handed me a coffee cup, empty except for a small USB drive. Everything we found on V and Morton, plus the security footage. Ready to go public the second you give the signal. The elevator chimed. 14. Showtime, Scarlett whispered, wheeling her cart out. I followed the signs to Boardroom C, my reflection ghosting along the glass walls. For a moment, I caught a glimpse of myself, as Vivian must have seen me. Successful, confident, worth becoming. worth destroying. Voices drifted from the partially open door. The Richards portfolio demonstrates our ability to penetrate key market segments, Vivian was saying. Our research suggests. I pushed the door open. Your research? That's an interesting way to describe identity theft. The room froze. 12 board members turned to stare. Vivian's perfect smile flickered for just a fraction of a second. Sam, she recovered smoothly. I'm so glad you could join us. Everyone, this is Samantha Richards, my former partner. She's been having some difficulties lately. Difficulties? I stepped forward, holding up the USB drive. Like discovering how you and James here have been running this con across multiple companies. Morton stood, his expensive watch glinting. Security. Won't come, Scarlett called from the doorway. They're a bit busy with a situation in the lobby. Something about suspicious trading activity reports? Vivian's mask cracked. Real fear flashed across her face. It's over, I said quietly. The evidence is already backing up to multiple servers. Every identity you've stolen, every life you've ruined. Ruined? Vivian laughed, the sound brittle. I made them better, just like I made you better. Who was calling about the Wellington mansion before I stepped in? Which luxury brands were fighting for your designs? Those weren't my designs. They weren't my life. They could have been. She stepped closer, her voice dropping. We could still make this work, Sammy. Think about it. Your talent, my connections. We'd be unstoppable. For a moment I saw it. The seductive ease of letting Vivian craft a perfect life. Of riding her wave of carefully constructed success. No more struggling for clients. No more second-guessing every decision. Ms. Richards, Morton cut in smoothly. Perhaps we should discuss this privately. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement that benefits everyone. The board members shifted uncomfortably. One reached for his phone. An arrangement? I turned to them. Like the ones you made with Catherine Wells, Maria Delgado, Sarah Foster, all those women who mysteriously faced federal charges after meeting with you. Morton's practiced smile vanished. That's enough. No, Vivian snapped, surprising everyone. It's not enough. It's never enough for her. Little Sammy, always so righteous, so determined to do things the hard way. She grabbed my arm, fingers digging in. You want to know why I chose you? Because you were safe, predictable, so desperate to believe in people that you never saw the knife coming. V, Morton warned. Don't. You think this is about stealing your life? She laughed again, harder. I could have taken anyone's identity. I chose yours because you were perfect. Just successful enough to be useful, just trusting enough to be easy. And now you're going to lose everything, just like the others. The room had gone deadly quiet. I smiled. Say that again, I said softly. But this time, remember, you're still wearing the wire Scarlett planted on you during your emergency bathroom break. Vivian's face went white. Behind her, Morton was already moving toward the door, where Gavin stood waiting with 2 FBI agents. Turns out, I said, watching comprehension dawn in her eyes, I'm not as predictable as you thought. The next few minutes were chaos. Agents reading rights, board members shouting, Morton demanding lawyers. But I couldn't look away from Vivian's face as her perfect world crumbled. Because in the end, she'd been right about one thing. I was desperate to believe in people. I just believed in the right ones this time. The FBI's interview room felt smaller by the hour. I'd given my statement twice, signed countless documents, and still they wanted more. But I couldn't leave, not while Vivian was in the next room, spinning her own version of events. Just one more question, Agent Torres said, sliding another photo across the table. When did you first suspect Mrs. Phillips wasn't who she claimed to be? I stared at the image, Vivian and me at my birthday party last year, both laughing at something now forgotten. She was exactly who she claimed to be. That was the problem. A knock interrupted us. Madison poked her head in. Sorry, but you need to see this. She held up her phone, showing a live stream from outside the federal building. Reporters swarmed around a familiar figure, Ryder, looking shell-shocked as cameras flashed. My wife is innocent, his voice crackled through the speaker. Samantha Richards is the one who... I switched it off, my hands shaking. He still believes her. Men like Ryder, Agent Torres said gently, sometimes need to learn the hard way. Another agent appeared at the door. She's asking for you. My stomach clenched. Vivienne? Says she'll only give her full statement to you. Madison grabbed my arm. Sam, don't. She's trying to manipulate you again. But I was already standing. That's counting on it. The walk to the other interview room felt like crossing a tightrope. Through the observation window, I saw Vivienne, still perfect, still poised, despite hours of questioning. Only the slight smudge of her mascara betrayed any distress. Remember, Agent Torres whispered, we're right outside. Don't let her... I know who she is now, I cut in. That's all I need. Vivienne's smile bloomed as I entered. Sammy, I knew you'd come. Drop the act, V, it's over. Is it? She leaned forward, chains clinking softly. Ryder's out there right now defending me. The board members are already calling their lawyers. And you're about to lose everything you worked for. You mean everything you stole? Borrowed, she corrected. Enhanced, made better. Tell me something. How many new clients have inquired since those fake designs went up? How many opportunities opened up? I hesitated. She saw it, pressed harder. We could still salvage this. Tell them Morton forced me, that I was protecting you by keeping you in the dark, with your testimony. Like the other women testified? I pulled out my phone, showing her the photos Madison's PI had found. Catherine Wells, Maria Delgado, Sarah Foster, all convinced to take the fall, all destroyed. Something flickered behind her eyes. They were weak. They were real. Unlike everything about you. Real? She laughed, the sound like breaking glass. You want to talk about real? Tell me, Sammy, what was real about your perfect little life? Working yourself to death for clients who didn't appreciate you. Crying over Gavin every time he relapsed. At least I made your life interesting. You made it a lie. I made it better. She surged forward, mask finally cracking. Everything I did, every identity I borrowed, I improved them. Gave them the success they were too scared to grab for themselves, just like I did for you. No. I met her eyes steadily. You didn't improve my life, Vivienne. You just showed me who I really want to be. Confusion crossed her face. Someone who trusts even after betrayal, I continued. Someone who builds things instead of stealing them. Someone real. Real gets you nothing, she spat. Real gets you left behind. Really? Because from where I'm sitting, Real got me a team of friends who helped take you down. Real got me the strength to face you. Real got me here, while you're wearing handcuffs. Her composure shattered completely. You think you've won? By tomorrow, every news outlet will have evidence of your fraud. Your clients will run. Your reputation will survive, I cut in. Because unlike you, I actually did the work. Built the relationships, earned the trust. Everything you stole. I lived it. I stood, watching her perfect facade crumble into desperate fury. Goodbye, Vivienne. Or whatever your real name is. Sam, she called as I reached the door. You're making a mistake. I'm the best friend you've ever had. I turned back one last time. No, you're just the best lesson. Outside, Madison waited with Gavin and Scarlett. Through the window, we watched Vivienne's mask finally dissolve into raw, ugly rage. You okay? Madison asked softly. I took a deep breath, feeling lighter than I had in months. I am now. My phone buzzed, a text from Ryder. Just saw the evidence. I'm so sorry. Can we talk? What are you going to tell him? Gavin asked, reading over my shoulder. I smiled, thinking of all the real conversations ahead, all the genuine connections waiting to be built. The truth, I said. It's the one thing Vivienne never understood the power of. The Wellington estate looked different in the morning light, no longer a symbol of Vivienne's deception, but something else entirely. I stood at the iron gates, watching the real estate agent's car approach. "Ms. Richards," she looked nervous. "After everything in the news, I wasn't sure you'd come. Neither was I." I followed her up the winding driveway. But something about this place wouldn't let me go. Inside, sunlight streamed through tall windows, illuminating spaces Vivian had planned to fill with her stolen life. My stolen life. But standing here now, I saw something she hadn't. Potential. My phone buzzed. "Madison, court just released the asset freeze. Your accounts are yours again." Another text followed immediately. "Please tell me you're not actually considering it." I smiled, remembering our conversation last night. The idea had seemed crazy then too, but the more I thought about it, the more right it felt. The agent cleared her throat. "The sellers were horrified about the previous situation. They've authorized me to offer a significant discount given the circumstances." How significant? She named a figure that made my breath catch. Less than half what Vivian had arranged. Still steep, but with my newly unfrozen accounts, my legitimate business revenues, and the advance from the book deal Madison had negotiated. "There's something else you should know," the agent added. "Another interested party toured yesterday. They're prepared to make an offer." "Let me guess, James Morton's wife?" The agent's eyes widened. "How did you—" "Because some people never learn." I pulled out my phone, showing her the message I'd received that morning from Agent Torres. Morton's wife had visited him in custody, then immediately begun moving assets, starting the cycle again. "I'll need to see the basement," I said. The agent blinked. "The basement? Where else would you put a design studio?" Understanding dawned on her face. "You're not just buying it to live in. This house represents everything Vivian tried to steal." I ran my hand along the solid wooden banister. She saw it as a trophy. I see it as a foundation. My phone lit up again. "Ryder, just finished at the FBI. Everything you said about V's previous identities checked out. I was such a fool." "You weren't a fool," I typed back. "You just loved someone who didn't exist." His response came quickly. "Like you did." "No," I replied. "I loved the idea of someone. You loved a performance. There's a difference." The agent led me through the rest of the house, rooms Vivian had planned to fill with artificial perfection, but I saw something different. Workshop spaces for aspiring designers, meeting rooms for clients who needed genuine collaboration, not empty promises. A place where real things could grow. My phone buzzed one final time. An email from the prison where they held Vivienne. Subject line: "I understand now." I almost deleted it unread, but something made me open it. "Dear Sammy, they're transferring me tomorrow. Before I go, I needed you to know I chose you because you were everything I couldn't be. Genuine, trusted, real. I thought wearing your life would make me those things too. I was wrong. Don't waste your time replying. Just be better than I was. V. Ms. Richards." The agent touched my arm. "Should I prepare the paperwork?" Through the window, I watched Scarlett's car pull up. She'd offered to help plan the studio space, turning her event planning skills towards something constructive. Behind her, Madison's car arrived. My friend who'd never stopped believing in me, even when I doubted myself. Gavin would come later with his construction contacts, ready to help transform this space of deception into something authentic. Even Ryder had offered his business expertise, seeking redemption through honest work. "Ms. Richards," the agent prompted again. I took one last look around, at the house Vivian had tried to claim, at the life she'd tried to steal, at all the real possibilities she'd never understood. "Yes," I said finally, "but not as a private residence." I showed her the business plan on my phone. The Richards Institute for Design Innovation. A place where talented people could build their own success stories, not steal someone else's. "Draw up the papers," I told her. "It's time this house belonged to someone who knows exactly who they are." Outside, my friends waited, not the perfect polished circle Vivienne had cultivated, but something better. Something real. I stepped into the sunlight, leaving the shadows of stolen identities behind. Because in the end, the life worth living isn't the one you take, it's the one you build.